as we move from blues in the direction of jazz, one of the things that happens quite a bit is that 12-bar blues sequences get stretched out to 16 bars. This song is a great example of that. Take a look at the vanilla chord sequence. Notice that if we took the third line out completely, we'd have a totally standard 12-bar blues in F. The third line actually acts as a sort of teaser, delaying the climactic finish to the 12-bar that we normally expect. Let's just have a strum through using these ordinary E-shaped bar chords, and I think you'll hear what I mean. One, two, three, four. Strumming along with the basic bar chord shapes is one approach you might use if you were playing this song in a blues band. But if you're in a jazz band, you'd probably be expected to lighten your touch a little. And a good way to do that is to use a fingerstyle comping approach, using these shapes. One, two, three, four. Played this style of rhythm guitar before, here's a quick guide to the basic idea using the F7th chord as an example. So this 7th shape, it's a C7th shape, a movable C7th shape. So I'm rooted here, 3rd finger, 5th string, 8th fret on the F note. 2nd finger is on the 4th string at the 7th fret. Pinky is on the 3rd string at the 8th fret, and 1st finger is on the 2nd string at the 6th fret. So we arrange our thumb on the 5th string and first 3 fingers on the following 3 strings, so that's string 4, 3, 2. We're not concerned about the top or bottom strings because they're not included in this chord shape. Now the first beat is simply plucking all 4 of those notes together, so thumb and 3 fingers, that's beat 1. Beat 2 has a percussive tap, which is literally just tapping your fist, if you like, against the strings, followed by a thumb bass note on the and beat. So that's 1, 2, and. The third beat is the 3 fingers working together, and that's played twice, so that's 3 and. So altogether we've got 1, 2, and 3 and the final beat is another tap. So that's pluck, tap, pick, fingers, tap. Pluck, tap, thumb, fingers, tap. Pluck, tap, thumb, fingers, tap. That could make a pretty risky tongue twister, couldn't it? 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Once you've got that pattern on automatic at a nice slow speed, you should gradually speed it up. Something like this. Often you'll want to push the first beat of the bar like this. Instead of 1, 2 and 3 and 4, you'll go 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Effectively, you're starting the first beat on the and beat after beat 4. So instead of playing 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, you play 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and you can hold that through the whole of the first beat. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 4 and 1, 2 and... Now, I strongly suggest practicing the straight rhythm first before attempting that, because that's a lot harder. Just doesn't, it's not so easy to analyse. Okay, so that's laid the foundations for playing along with the rhythm. Now let's take a look at the melody. Two things I think you'll quickly notice about jazz melodies in general. First thing is that they're often surprisingly simple. And the second thing is that they're best learnt and remembered by relating them to the underlying harmonies, the underlying chords. So we play the first part of this melody over the chord change from F to B flat, or F7th to B flat 7th. Now this movement from chord 1 to chord 4 in the key is extremely commonly used in all forms of music. But when both these chords are dominant chord types, that means 7ths, 9ths, 11ths or 13ths, then the first choice of scale to use over this change is almost always the blues scale or minor pentatonic scale. So let's reference ourselves to an F minor pentatonic scale, just one octave of it played in the 4th position. So starting here on the F note, fret 8, 5th string. And the melody of Watermelon Man starts on the second to last note of that scale, the flat 7th note in the key of F. And you probably want to give it a little bit of a bend to sort of emulate the horn parts that are often heard on this song. Something like this. And then we follow that with a little riff from the bottom end of the scale, from the F. as the chord changes underneath from F to B flat 7th, we come up to the top octave F note here, fret 10 on the 3rd string. Again, just hold that, no need for a bend this time, and then come back to the same riff from the bottom end. So altogether that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then as we move to the C 7th, B flat 7th changes, the basis of the melody shifts to the what I call the F country scale, perhaps these days more commonly called the major blues scale. So starting on the F fret 8 on the 5th string, I then jump up to fret 10 with my first finger here, and then from there for the next octave I jump back to fret 8, I beg your pardon, on the 2nd string. So that's the basic country scale in F. However, although all the notes in this part of the melody do come from that scale, it's probably easier learnt and better understood by relating the notes to the individual underlying chords. Okay, so this first phrase sounds like this, and that's based on the C chord. Second phrase, based on the B flat chord. So let's look at that a little closer. On the C chord, I'm thinking of the C major bar chord, or the C major arpeggio from here. But I'm also factoring in, we've got 1, 3, 5, note 6 of the C scale. So really the formula of this little lick is 1, 1, 5, 6. The 6th note is so often added to chords in jazz, very, very neutral note, it mixes in with anything. Okay, so we then shift that idea down 2 frets and we're thinking over the B flat sort of major chord, or B flat 7th chord. And here we're going to go 7, beg your pardon, flat 7, 6, 5, and down to the 3rd, and then back to the 5th, and back to the 6th. So that's, and the 2 phrases together, C, B flat, C again, then B flat, slight variant. It starts the same, flat 7, 6, 5, 3, but down to 2 and back to 3. Again, the 2nd note of the scale, very often used as a neutral note in jazz licks. So once again, that's C, B flat, C, B flat variant, C, but this time we go to this flatted 6th note and then back down to the 4th. So that's, and then we finish off with the original lick, the original bassy lick from the tune. Now, one of the things that will really help you learn to do this at the speed needed to play it along to the backing track is to choose your fingering very carefully. Let me show you what I mean. Over the C riff, we're going to start with our third finger on the C note at fret 10 there on the D string. Then when we go into the first B flat lick, use your third finger to slide into it from the 6th note. Play the C riff again exactly the same way as before. But this time, instead of your third finger for the B flat 7th lick, use your second finger and use it on all 3 notes, and that takes you down to here where you can easily get the variant note, the second. So we've got and just that little fingering shift you'll find really helps that flow along nice and easily. So let's just run through the whole tune again in slow motion. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at full speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's laid the foundations for this song. But in jazz, learning the chords and the melody of a song is generally only seen as a point of departure, the bare beginnings of what becomes often a lifelong journey of discovery, during which you develop an ever deepening relationship with a song. The core skill that takes us on this journey is our ability to improvise. In the next lesson, we'll take a look at how we can use the bare bones that we formed in this lesson and develop both the rhythm and lead guitar parts into something that sounds more interesting. So I look forward to seeing you then.